Hey guys, hey, and welcome back to my channel. This is your girl Shamika, and welcome back to Speak Freely, here where we celebrate the freedom of speech. In today's video, I wanted to talk about the fact that how telling minority groups or black and brown people to do better is now become Okay, so I've heard people say this before, usually when someone outside their group tries to point out the fact that, hey, it's been statistically shown if black families do this A, Z, and Z, that they will have just as good lives or just as good chances of having good lives just as much as their white counterparts. Like waiting to get married to have children and partners staying together once they have kids, combining your income so you can get yourself out of poverty, you know, going to school, paying your bills and stuff like that so you have good credit, graduating, getting a degree, staying out of trouble, stuff like that. Like if you do those things, that you have just as good as chances as having a good, at least middle class life as your white allies. And again, nothing's absolute, nothing's guaranteed. You can get hit by a bus, but if you follow these sort of steps, then you can have sort of a good life. It's because the thing is a lot of, you know, statistically more black people are living in poverty than white people, and they're one of the surefire ways of keeping the self in poverty is then having multiple children while you're still in poverty or still living in a low income wage or neighborhood, is because then it makes it just that much extremely, like it just makes it so much harder for you to get yourself out of that situation. And so one of the things you should not do is have children while you're still barely taking care of yourself. And one of the things you should probably not do is have children when you don't even know if the guy's going to be around. You have to be smarter and just make better decisions. And somehow telling minority groups, black and brown people, or anybody who's living in a low income neighborhood or whatever, is now become racist. Like, how is that? I wanted to make this video. I was already going to make this video. I was already going to make it. But it sparked me to make it sooner is when I watched Scandal. And if anybody haven't noticed, mainstream media TV shows have become so, like, weirdly progressive in a way where they're like trying to shove their shit down our throats, and it's becoming so annoying. I think the recent episode of Scandals actually said something about mansplaining. Like, what the fuck? I'm glad this is the end of the series because I don't want to see Olivia Pope go down like this. It's sad. Anyway, there was one episode, if I can find it, I might put it in this. If not, just go watch it. It's the first episode of the new season. And she's talking to a reporter, and she says something about, like, oh, you telling black people just to do better is so racist. Which is kind of, like, for me, disappointing, because once again, you're using, or black and brown people are allowing themselves to be used on a platform where they have power and voice and reach to continue to just push the same rhetoric over and over again. And it's kind of sad. Whether she was up for it or not, who knows. But when I saw that, I was just like, oh my god, like, how is that racist? Like, I get maybe the idea of black people saying, like, white people shouldn't tell black people just to get over what happened to us and just do better. But at the same time, you kind of do have to do that. Even if you are an individual and something happened to you. Let's say you got robbed, or you got divorced, or you got sexually assaulted, if something happened to you that actually made you as an individual a victim, at some point you do have to move on, or you're allowing your victimness to just continue over and over and over again, and the person who victimized you moved on a long time ago. And so you constantly giving that person your power away. You're constantly giving your power away if you don't eventually move on. So yeah, black people, we do have to move on at some point and do better. Like, I don't see how that in itself is racist. Of course, you can say it in a nicer way, but that technically isn't really racist, because you do, unless you just want to be miserable, unless you just, you know, and again, if you're individually victimized and if you want to continue giving your power away, then that is your choice. But as eventually you have to get the help you need, you have to get the counseling you need, you have to heal yourself, you have to get healed, you have to forgive, and you have to move on. And remember, forgiveness is not necessarily for the person who victimized you. Forgiveness is for yourself so you can move on and take your power back. Alright? I wrote a few books, you know. Yeah, I do. So I'm also like that. I wrote a few books and I have them up on Amazon, even though I'm really only like advertising the first book because the other two books need to be re-edited. I wrote them like a year or so ago, so I didn't make this video so I can like push my books. But anyway, I wrote 3 books about my childhood and how I was extremely abused and sexually assaulted and stuff like that. And the 3 books is basically sort of how I decided to get out of that, and so just sort of how I decided to take my power back and create the life that I want. And that is pretty much the message that I have concreted into every book that I wrote. It's like, it is up to you to take the power back, to take your power back and create the life that you want. Telling someone that they are the author of their books, that they are the author of their reality, that they are the ones who construct and tailor their lives the way they want, that they have more power over their lives and realities, that they may think that they're braver and more courageous and smarter than they might actually know or access it in itself. To me, telling someone that and telling myself that is one of the most liberating and powerful things that you can ever say. It's such a liberating mindset of, I am in control of my destiny. You know, again, there's no absolute. You can get hit by a bus or a fucking plane can fall on you or something like that. It can happen. But for the most part, you are in control of yourself. And so to me, that is so liberating. That is so empowering. One of the most important things to me is freedom. That's why I'm very pro free speech and do whatever the fuck you want, because freedom is something that is priceless and we should never give that away. And so telling someone that they have the freedom to do what they want somehow is unempowering, uninspiring, and racist. Like, how is that? How is telling people constantly that they're oppressed and they're victims? That is the way we should go. But don't you dare tell people that they have the power to live the life that they want to live by making smarter choices. Have I made the best choices in my whole life? Fuck no. Some of that has to do with my individual past that I've had being abused as a person, that it took me a little bit of time to catch up with people that are my same age and stuff like that. But even besides that, I've made shitty mistakes. I've made a lot of mistakes, and I've never blamed my life on anybody else. If there's anything I've ever went for, and I mean really went for and didn't give up and worked hard for, I got. And things that I didn't get, I either failed because I gave up, or I didn't have the talent or the knowledge to do so. But I know very well that my life is in my hands. And so I don't get how telling people that somehow is like, that's racist. What the fuck are you talking about? So yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't get like it. You know, and again, I'm not someone who thinks that everyone should live the same cookie cutter life, but there are basic steps you can take in your life to ensure that you have a chance of having a better life, and there are basic steps you can take to make sure your life stays stuck and just the way it was. If you want to continue your generational of poverty and low incomeness and fatherlessness, you can keep making the same decisions that everybody made to get themselves in that position, or you can make better decisions and do better. How is that racist? Please tell me. Someone dissect that and tell me how it's racist. Anyway, that's the end of my video. I just wanted to discuss that because I've seen people say that multiple times, that that's racist and you can't say that and stuff like that. And also white allies basically backing that up. Like, you can't say that because black people, they can't do shit on their own. Everybody knows they're like babies and children and they need our white hands to like guide them to success. No, like, giving people the power to control their own lives and to control their destinies is the best thing you can do for people. The best thing you can do. You can have the opportunities there, but it's up to them to reach out to those opportunities. Tell me, guys, what do you think? If you have any comments on anything I said in this video, I am open to conversation, I'm open to debate, and I am open to being wrong. And yeah, like this video if you like it. Please like it and share it. Share it out there. Facebook and Twitter and any other social media. I don't know if you can put this on Instagram or whatever, but share it. Just get Tumblr, Pinterest, get it the fuck out there so I can grow, so I can, you know, maybe get a better camera or something. I don't know, because YouTube definitely isn't trying to help us out. If you want to continue having conversations like this, please subscribe and hit that bell. If you do subscribe, so you get the notifications when I do upload. And that's it. Thank you, and